And for our mindfulness meditation together, allow me to invite you, as always, just to be still. Let your body find a nice, comfortable position. And feel the stillness feeling, the sensation of stillness, having a physical body that is not intending to move, no intention to go anywhere, just resting in stillness. Let your breath happen all by itself with your lips together, breathing nose and tummy. With your eyes closed and your mind awake. As your whole being relaxes all three aspects of yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, and your physical body, your whole being. As your whole being relaxes, in the presence of your stillness, your breath, and your wakeful eye closure. The invitation in this mindfulness meditation is to release negative judgments that are preventing love from flowing spontaneously from you. This meditation is based on the belief that every human being is filled with the emotion of love already. And as we release, let go of, and change our negative judgments about life, people, circumstances, then we allow the love to flow. The release of the negative judgment allows abundant love to flow through our bodies, towards others, for ourselves, so that we feel the emotion of love and we can act in loving kindness towards everyone else. So my first question for you in this mindfulness meditation is, out of all the people or things that are in your life, could be circumstances, it could be people that you know of, as in politicians, television personalities, singers, people that are present in your life in some way, even though you may never have met them. Let me invite you to do your best to spot a negative judgment that you have about one of these people or circumstances in your life. See if you can spot, see if you can identify, see if you can hear the words, the negative judgment words that you use sometimes, maybe often, with regard to that circumstance or that person. An example would be the Prime Minister. Many people only have negative thoughts, negative judgments about the Prime Minister, for example. Some people have mixture of both positive and negative. And I'm sure some only have positive judgments about the Prime Minister. Just do your best to put your finger on, to hear, to sense, to feel, to notice, to become aware of just one of the negative judgments that you're making about anything in life. See if you can hear the actual wording of the sentence itself. If not, just get a flavour, a taste, a sense an idea, a concept. As you identify, as you notice your own negative judgment, do your best to reverse it, to mirror it, to create a sentence that's the exact opposite. And as you do this, as you convert a negative judgment into a positive one, notice if you consult reality. Let me give you an example. There have been many powerful political leaders who have committed great harm and atrocity to many millions of people. The Second World War gives us a very clear example of someone like this. And of course, the reality is that some people do act in very disrespectful and harmful ways. My invitation in this meditation for you is to see beyond the acts of disrespect that others may commit, and see the pain that those acts of disrespect are born from, rather than judge the person's behavior. And in this way, seeing the person's pain, the person's confusion, this will help you to create a positive judgment, maybe a forgiving judgment, maybe wishes of well-being, and even feelings of love towards that person. As you allow this process to evolve inside you, let me invite you now to very deliberately and very consciously create and say your positive thought about the person or circumstance of your choice. Actually hear yourself say it in your own voice, inside your head, right now. And as you hear your own words, your own positive words, place some of your awareness in your heart and some in your stomach, and feel the emotion that is now arising from this positive judgment of somebody or a circumstance that may actually be very harmful and even disrespectful and unkind. Yet you are right now, consciously and deliberately, choosing to hold in your consciousness, in your mind, with the words of your own inner voice, positive thought, positive judgment, where before you had negative thought and negative judgment about this person or circumstance. You're now abiding in loving kindness, a state of loving kindness. You have taken control, taken charge, made a choice with your conscious mind, rather than allow your subconscious mind to make the choice for you. With your awareness in your body, feeling your heart and your stomach, the emotion of love that is now arising from this positive thought. If you're not already, see a picture of the person or the circumstance in your mind's eye. Using your mind's eye to see their face, their body, their stance, their demeanor, their way of being. And the invitation now is to look for their pain. In the past, perhaps, you have been only seeing their disrespect, their acts of unkindness, and their acts of harm. And now the invitation is to see something new. See something that perhaps in the past you haven't looked for. As you recognize where they're coming from, where the disrespect and hurting comes from, the emotion of love is now released inside your body to some extent. Just notice the feeling of love, forgiveness, kindness, positivity that now must be arising within you to some extent, even if it's only extremely small. It must be arising within you. You've taken conscious, deliberate choice and control over your thoughts, and you are releasing yourself from the power of the negative judgment that used to be inside you. Replacing the old negative with the new positive releases you, releases your health, your good feeling, your strength, and your power. It relieves and releases you from the burden of the negative judgment that you used to carry, liberating you, freeing you, and enabling you to feel more love inside your body, and so bring more love onto the planet Earth. And just before we finish, let me invite you to imagine. Imagine if every human being on the earth was to adopt this philosophy, this way of being, loving kindness, for a whole day, just one day, where we didn't have negative judgments for others or even circumstances. We see the pain instead, and deliberately and consciously create a positive thought, a loving thought, a kind thought about that person or circumstance. The whole globe, every human being, all doing it for a whole day, 24 hours. Imagine what would happen. A wave of loving kindness would spread across the globe. Wars would cease. Healing would happen in a profound way. Because people had taken time to consciously and deliberately create positive thought and positive emotion, principally for themselves, which then travels in waves outwards to others, from the heart, through the body and into the world. And in this way, this very simple technique releases the emotion of love inside you, and it flows abundantly, because that is the nature of love, and that is the nature of you, the nature of human beings. And as we arrive gently at the end of our mindfulness meditation